Welcome to my channel. In this video we will talk about Keanu Reeves' biography. And please follow my YouTube channel. Charles Reeves, a Canadian actor known for his nobility in the Hollywood film industry, is a humble and down-to-earth actor who does not shy away from sharing his success with the co-actors and crew of the movies he is in. Keanu, Charles Reeves is a Canadian actor known for his nobility in the Hollywood film industry. The kind actor is renowned for donating the majority of his money from the blockbuster trilogy The Matrix to the teams responsible for the movie's visual effects and costume design. He did this because he believed that those teams were the true heroes of the movie. He also passed up the chance to make millions of dollars so that the production company he worked with could hire top-tier performers for his films, such as Al Pacino and Gene Hackman, who starred in The Devil's Advocate and The Replacement, respectively. Reeves had a difficult upbringing due to the fact that his father abandoned him and his mother when he was only 3 years old, and his mother went on to marry 3 more times after that. This caused Reeves to suffer from mental instability. Before he made the decision to go to Los Angeles permanently and start his acting career at the age of 15, he took his mother on a trip across the world, seeing Sydney, New York, and Toronto. The films The Matrix Reloaded, and The Matrix Revolutions, as well as The Devil's Advocate, Speed, and Constantine, are just some of the numerous box office successes that Reeves has starred in. He prefers to lead a secluded life and avoid speaking with the press. In addition to that, he favors surfing and ballroom dancing over all other activities. His life has been marred by several misfortunes, including the delivery of his stillborn daughter named Ava, the passing of his longtime partner Jennifer Syme, and the passing of his close friend and actor River Phoenix. Recently, Reeves made his debut as a filmmaker with the film Man of Tai Chi in 2013. The film was released in 2013. Keanu Reeves was born to Samuel Nowlin Reeves and Patricia Reeves on September 2, 1964 in the city of Beirut, which is located in the country of Lebanon. His father was a Chinese and Hawaiian-American geologist, while his mother was an English showgirl. He was the son of an Asian-American geologist and an English showgirl. The meaning of the first name Reeves, derived from the Hawaiian language, is cold wind across the mountains. When he was just 3 years old, his parents went through a divorce. When Reeves was younger, he and his mother would often relocate, and he went through a succession of stepfathers. Following the finalization of his parents' separation, Reeves and his mother relocated to Sydney, Australia, where his mother found employment in the field of costume design. His half-sister Kim was born there, and the 3 of them returned to New York again, while his father migrated to Hawaii, where Reeves visited him until he was 13 years old. It was only a matter of time until his mother remarried for the second time in New York to director Paul Aaron. After the wedding, the whole family went to Toronto with him and obtained citizenship in Canada. Reeves' mother remarried for the third time in 1976 to a rock promoter named Robert Miller, and shortly after that, Karina, Reeves' second half-sister, was born. However, this only lasted for a single year before the pair divorced. In 1994, she wed a barber by the name of Jack Bond after going through yet another divorce and becoming a widow for the 4th time. Reeves and his sisters were largely reared by their grandparents and babysitters due to the fact that their parents were emotionally unstable and moved around a lot while they were little. Because he was not a particularly compliant young man, he was forced to drop out of all 4 of the high schools that he attended, one of which being Etobicoke School of the Arts, from which he had previously been expelled. In addition to that, he received an education from institutions such as De La Salle College and the Toronto School for the Performing Arts. At the age of 17, he made the decision to never return to college and instead pursue a career as an actor in the film industry. He was never a very intellectual or studious young man while he was in high school. Instead, he was more interested in ice hockey and the theater. In 1979, when Reeves was just 15 years old, he appeared on stage as Romeo in a performance of Romeo and Juliet at the Leah Poslan's Theatre. After that, he had his first appearance on television in the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation comedy Hangin' In. In the 1980s, he appeared in a variety of media, including television advertisements for major companies like Coca-Cola, stage shows like Wolf Boy, and short films like One Step Away. In the year 1984, he also worked as a correspondent for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's CBC youth television show titled Going Great. River's Edge, which Reeves directed and starred in as a group of young people dealing with the aftermath of a murder and was his first dramatic picture, was released in 1986. Following the success of this film, Reeves gained widespread recognition and was soon given a growing number of parts in movies that were age-appropriate for him, such as Permanent Record. In the film Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which was released in 1989, he portrayed the part of Ted Logan. 2 years later, in 1991, the film's sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, was released. Although these movies were very beneficial to Reeves' career, they also contributed to the perpetuation of the reputation of him as a troubled kid. The press began portraying him as a young man with high-minded principles. In the film My Private Idaho, which he co-starred in with River Phoenix, Keanu Reeves portrayed a young privileged guy who, in an attempt to shake the image of a traditional rich kid and transition away from adolescent movies, spent more time with individuals from lower social strata. The movie was extremely well reviewed by the reviewers, and it did a good job of working towards shattering his reputation as an unfocused young adult. His performance in the 1992 film Point Break earned him the Most Desirable Male award from MTV, which he received as a result. In Dracula, which was released in 1992, Reeves portrayed the part of an unfortunate lawyer who winds up in a vampire's lair. This was part of his ongoing commitment to doing serious and significant parts. After the release of Speed in 1994, Reeves rose to the level of recognition and prominence in Hollywood that was rightfully his. It catapulted him to the level of a high-budget action star. Sandra Bullock was a well-known actress at the time, and he worked with her in the film. Even after Speed was such a tremendous hit, he continued to take on more experimental parts and was open to offers for supporting roles as long as the roles were significant to him and the scripts were well written. He also did Speed again in 2011. Even though given around $11 million in US currency, he turned down the opportunity to star in the sequel to the film Speed, which was titled Speed 2: Cruise Control. During the latter part of the 1990s, he appeared in a number of films, including the American romantic drama A Walk in the Clouds, in which he portrayed the part of a soldier who comes back to his hometown after serving in the military in order to start a new life with his newlywed wife. It was a reimagining of a film from Italy that was first released under the title Four Steps in the Cloud. In 1996, he starred with Cameron Diaz in the American romantic comedy Feeling Minnesota, which was produced in the United States. After that, it was time to work on several films with larger budgets, such as the science fiction film Johnny Mnemonic, which was released in the year 1995, and the action thriller film Chain Reaction, which was released in the year 1996. After the phenomenal success of Speed, Keanu Reeves' subsequent film projects did not do as well as one may have anticipated. Nonetheless, The Devil's Advocate, an American mystery thriller released in 1997, catapulted his career to the next level. He shared the screen alongside Al Pacino and Charlize Theron in the production. Many movie reviewers felt that Reeves' acting talents were improving with the passage of time, which they felt was reflected in the box office success of the picture. However, there were still those people who believed that he might have performed more admirably. It was the year 1999, and Reeves' career was about to approach the heights with the sci-fi film The Matrix, which was directed by the Wachowski brothers. Both the general public and film reviewers quickly took a like to Keanu Reeves' portrayal of the character Neo, which led to the movie's financial success at the box office. The popularity of this film inspired the creation of two further sequels, which were titled The Matrix Reloaded, 2003, and The Matrix Revolution, 2003, respectively. The performance of the trilogy was up to expectations, and it did wonders for his career. He had already firmly established himself as an actor with a mature temperament and a wide range of acting skills. During the time that Keanu Reeves was working on the final installment of the Matrix trilogy, he starred in a number of films, including The Gift, 2000, The Watcher, 2000, Sweet November, 2001, a romantic drama opposite Charlize Theron, The Replacements, 2000, a comedy, and Something's Gotta Give, 2000, which he co-starred in with Jack Nicholson. In addition to the fact that none of these films had much of an impact on the entertainment industry, Reeves was critiqued for his performance abilities. However, in 2005, a horror thriller titled Constantine was released, and after that, everyone began raving about how amazing Reeves once again was. His much-anticipated romantic drama The Lake House in 2006, alongside his Speed co-star Sandra Bullock, did not quite work for him and his career, and it left audiences and his fans feeling disappointed. The movie, A Scanner Darkly, is a science fiction film based on the novel A Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick. It did fairly well in terms of box office receipts in the year 2006. His succeeding projects, such as Street Kings, 2008, The Day the Earth Stood Still, 2008, and The Private Life of Pippa Lee, 2009, all had unremarkable box office performances. In 2010, Reeves worked on a variety of films, including those with lower budgets, such as Henry's Crime and Generation as well as a picture with a larger budget, known as 47 Ronin. During the time that these movies were being shot, Reeves worked on the pre-production of his home-produced film and directorial debut, Man of Tai Chi. This film is based on the life of a well-known stuntman and his buddy Tiger Chen. Reeves directed the film. The film Man of Tai Chi had its world debut at both the Cannes Film Festival and the Beijing Film Festival. In addition to winning an award in Beijing, the film was praised by John Woo, a filmmaker known for his work on action films. Side by Side was the title of the documentary that Reeves created in 2011 on the transition away from photochemical film and toward digital camera technology. He conducted interviews with the most accomplished filmmakers in the business, such as Christopher Nolan, James Cameron, Martin Scorsese, and others. During the same year, he penned a book with the title Ode to Happiness, which included images taken by Alexandra Grant. After the passing of his co-star and close friend River Phoenix in 1993, Reeves was left in utter disbelief and shattered to the point of collapse. In 1991, the two appeared in the film My Own Private Idaho as co-stars. It was reported that both Phoenix and Reeves experimented with drugs for the character that they were playing in the movie, and that Phoenix just began using drugs around the time that they were filming the movie. However, Phoenix passed away from an overdose of narcotics. Jennifer Syme, who had been dating Reeves for a long time and worked as a production assistant and part-time actor, gave birth to a stillborn baby girl that the couple named Ava in the year 2000. The unfortunate event was the catalyst for the end of their relationship, yet despite going their own ways, they remained very close friends. Jennifer was murdered in a vehicle accident in 2001, barely 1 year after the birth of their stillborn daughter Ava. The tragedy occurred while Jennifer was returning from Marilyn Manson's party at her home in Los Angeles. It was thought that she had been driving while under the influence of a combination of narcotics and medication that she had been given. This had a devastating effect on Reeves, and he later reflected on the experience, saying in an interview that grief changes form but it never stops. In 2008, rumors began to circulate that Reeves was romantically involved with the actress China Chow, who was 38 years old at the time and the daughter of the restaurateur Michael Chow. During the Cannes Film Festival, he was seen making an official appearance beside her. During this same period, there were photographs that were circulating on the internet that showed Chow and Reeves swimming without their tops in France. However, they split up not long after that, and shortly afterwards, Reeves began a love relationship with an actress called Parker Posey. Someone released an image of Reeves in 2010 on the internet, and it depicted him looking terrible while he was sitting on a bench and eating by himself. As a result, he received a lot of attention from the media. It was shared on the online community known as 4chan. It quickly gained notoriety on the internet under the name Keanu is Sad or simply Sad Keanu, when it went viral on the website. When pushed to comment on the issue, Reeves said in an interview with The Guardian, "It is hopefully revolutionary. The type of thing that moves you from one location to another, to look at oneself and realize that there is always something worse that might be happening. Things certainly have the potential to be much worse." In 1994, the state of Hawaii found Reeves' father guilty of possessing cocaine and sentenced him to 10 years in prison for the crime. He was given the part of alongside Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in the film Heat, but he declined it because he was already committed to performing as Hamlet at the Manitoba Theatre Centre in Winnipeg, which is located in Canada. Val Kilmer was ultimately cast in the role. During the summer of 1995, Reeves went on tour with the band Dogstar, with whom he had previously been a member of the band. Reeves was chosen for the character of Neo in The Matrix despite competition from the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith, and Brad Pitt. Kim Reeves, who was just 38 years old when she was diagnosed with leukemia in 2001, fought valiantly against the illness for many years. As a result of his work on the Matrix trilogy, Reeves made $150 million. It is stated that he donated the majority of this money to the teams responsible for the special effects and costume design, since he believed that they were the true heroes of the movie and the people who were responsible for its success. Reeves set his fee for The Devil's Advocate at just $1 million, despite the fact that he could have easily earned more, so that the producers of the film could afford to pay Al Pacino to star in it. In addition, for the film The Replacements, he agreed to take a salary reduction in order to make room on the budget for Gene Hackman's participation. In contrast to what most people believe, Reeves is not a Buddhist. Rather, he has said that he is curious in the religion. Reeves suffers from dyslexia. Before filming started on The Matrix, he had already honed his skills in many forms of martial arts. He thinks of his sister as his closest and most trusted confidant. His favorite things to do in his spare time include surfing, horseback riding, and ballroom dancing. In 1995, People magazine named him one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. He also appeared in the magazine